Good afternoon, everyone. This is Lolly, and I'm here to show my fully completed Dossier project, which is a mixed media project from a class that I took in which Seth Apter was teaching the class. So, excuse me if I seem out of breath. I've been mowing the lawn, and I feel all raggedy right now. So these were the paints that I was using. I stuck with this color palette. This is what I wanted to use, and occasionally I would use this Golden High Flow Acrylics Raw Sienna, which is a real translucent paint, just to kind of age the pages a little bit. Whoops, and get these out of the way, and we will look at it. So I explained in my sneak peek of this that these are, it's watercolor paper with book pages that are glued onto it, and what I used for book pages was a travel guide to Rome. And then you can see, if you see Rome in there and map pieces, you know it's because it's part of the book. You can almost see little tiny bits of words in there. I still have paint on my fingers. So this is the completed project. We got to choose what size we wanted to make, and this is what I went with. And mine is approximately 7.5 wide by 7.5 long by 7 tall. And not every page is the same. I left it jaggedy, as you could see, and the pages have different lengths right here. So using the base of the paper I told you about, I used the acrylics on there, and there's some more paint. And some of Seth Apter's stamps, and some of his stencils, and some Tim Holtz products, and just a various conglomeration of many things. So I used my favorite pieces, my favorite pages for the front and for the backs. This is predominantly gray and black, but you will see hints of pink in there, and the mint and the teal right in there as well. You can see the binding technique here, which Seth Apter uses. And I put some charms on there, a plane and a little clock, because it's kind of a travel thing. This is somewhat of a journal in that I left at least a little spot on every page for a journaling bullet. So let me see if I can kind of zoom in a little too much right there. Okay, so you can see the book better without me having to hold it up to the camera. And let's get that right there. She looks about good. So let me open this up. Now the pages are very stiff. I have scored them a little bit, and I've been practicing and just gently trying to get them used to the idea of opening. So there's the first page on the inside. And like I said, you can see I left a spot right there for journaling. The stencils here I'm using mostly have alphabet themed in them. There's another page where you can see the Rome and some of the words right there from the actual book. I did use some rub-ons and some rubber stamps, and predominantly I used Stays On black ink to ink the words in there. Some of the doodling was hand-drawn, and I used a lot of white polka dots. I really like doing that. Make it count, the numbering and the make it count. It's a stencil and a mask all in one, and that's also one of Seth Apter's products, and you can see some words here from the underlying book. This one I cut a chevron out of the side here. And this one says to be continued. It's a rubber stamp, and I have some gold, some gold marker on there. The Art Deco, is it? I'll put it in the supply list. Oops, it's Deco Color Premium Golds. Okay, next page. This is the back of that chevron page there. It says You Got This. That's also one of his masks / stencils. This is a different stencil, but I loved it. Various stencils and whatnot through there. And this page, I have extra paper, and I cut and glue them right along here in strips. I've got some gold rub-ons in there, and I edged it in gold, as you can see, with that same pen. A lot of activity going on that page. This is one of my favorites. Well, I say that a lot, but it is one of my favorites. This stencil down here is a Tim Holtz stencil, and this is a Seth Apter stencil, and I just wrote Explore and Discover there, but I still have room to journal inside and out there. This one I wanted to stamp my name in there, and this is, as you can see, it's shorter page than the others. I just wanted to get a little variety in there. This one. This is what was it? It was the end of a roll that held one of these that holds your tape. The little plastic disc, I used that to stamp white in there in the white paint. And this was scraps of paper that I glued along there. Little sticker, it says Hug Harder, Laugh Louder, Smile Bigger, Love Longer. Another one of Seth's stencils. This was in the original, the book. The Rome book, that is. I could see just little bits of the maps underneath here, because some of these are map pages. This was a rub-on. Another one of Seth's stencils. You can see I like his stencils a lot. rubber stamping. I wrote finding there with some rubber stamps, and there it is. This is also one of Seth's rubber stamps right there. It says inside. I think looks like I've smeared it a little bit from picking it up too soon after doing my white dots, so I will go over those again and make it nice and fresh and crisp. That's my project. I love it. And you can always undo the binding, add more pages if you want, make it thicker, and rebind it. But I'm just really happy with the size that it is now. I see I have a hair from a paintbrush in there. Thank you so much for watching. I will give you a link to Seth's Facebook page called The Altered Page. And I will give you a supply list for the Deco pen. Excuse me, I'm throwing things. The Deco Color Premium Gold pen and anything else I can think of. And the paints, the acrylic paints I showed you at the beginning I got from Hobby Lobby. I hope that helps you have a good crafty day.